Hey everybody, this is D, and I should remember to put my shoes on before I start these videos, but hi, this is the real video for September. I got the August one up earlier this month. And so today I wanted to work on some more Slow Bal stuff. I've had a couple of people specifically ask for Slow Balboa content. And so I've been thinking about what I might do. And so I wanted to sort of talk a little bit about how to integrate Bal swing style movements into Slow Bal, which is something I've been exploring myself. Like when I first learned Slow Balboa, I learned it from the context of it was Dean Rafferty's sort of dance and idea. Dean and Nancy did it together, and then, well, I don't know for sure if Dean and Nancy did it together, but Dean taught it to Randy and Kara, who were my teachers, and so I was really focused on the sort of pure Bal element of Slow Balboa, which is still probably my favorite and where I spend most of my time in Slow Balboa. But I like Bal swing, so it was like, how do you do that? And so I've been playing around with using quick quicks, like continuous quick quicks, to sort of keep the momentum going in Slow Balboa, because I find that sometimes that triple step can really slow you down. And so when you're working in Bal swing motions like swivels or toss outs or turns, it can feel a little awkward. Like, what do I do with this long 2-count triple to this really slow music? And so one of the ways that I like to play around with swing patterns in Slow Balboa is just doing quick all the way through them. And the first way that I think is a good way to start to get used to this is actually not Bal swing at all, but it's pivots. So anytime we're talking about pivots, it's worth clarifying, hey, are we talking about pivoting the mechanic, or are we talking about pivots the move? Right now I'm talking about pivots the move, that you would do, again, is a very Dean and Nancy. Dean's back pivots was something people were talking about and working on a lot for the last few years. The idea of rotating every 2 counts together in pure Balboa. There's a bunch of different ways to do that, but we call that the move pivots. And that is totally possible to do just as is in Slow Balboa, but it can be really difficult if the music is keeping your foot up for 2 counts, that's rough. So often when I do pivots in Slow Bal, I do them double time, sped up with a quick rhythm. So for example, quick. Ha! I'm not warmed up. So sort of taking that concept and doing that double time, quick pivots in Slow Bal is something that I really love doing, and I do all the time. I may have already talked about it in one of the Slow Bal videos, but I'm going to just sort of put this in context and put it inside of one of Dean's basics. In particular, thinking about taking 1, 2, 3, and 4 that first turn, and just turn it into a quick pivot. Boom, boom, boom. So, and then we'll end with the triple to end the basic. So it'll look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 5, 6, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 5, 6, 5, 6, and 7, 8. If you've ever worked on ad libs, that idea of sort of taking a quick that is part of the basic and then just repeating it over and over again is a really good way to like think about your ad lib steps. And so that's why I'm saying 5, 6, 5, 6, 5, 6. Again, I don't find counts to be super useful in general. And so it's mostly just about the rhythm, mostly just about like feeling that. So as a follow, that same thing might look like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 5, 6, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8. You don't just have to use the 5, 6. You can also use the 1, 2. So that might look like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. This is going to be just like the challenges here are keeping a really nice, comfortable pure bal connection and rotating at the same time as your partner, being able to get that momentum going and then just sort of follow it through. And so if you're working on practicing this, practicing pivot the mechanic, just pivoting. And then the other way. And then counterclockwise. So doing all that, working on your one-legged balance, working on your stability and your uprightness, all of that is going to help with just sort of pivoting as a mechanism, and then that will help with pivots as an action. So this is sort of, I think, for me, easier in the sense that it's still very much in pure bal land, and so it fits into that like Dean's Basic and then ad libs, which is often sort of where I spend most of my time in Slow Balboa. But I do sometimes like to break out into like promenade and do some stuff here, and this is when we start to get into like, okay, this is where I would normally do bal swing patterns, but I don't necessarily want to just do quick, slow in slow bal. The music is slow enough that it doesn't make me want to do that. So the first thing I'm going to suggest maybe you try is quick swivels. That is the word that I was looking for. Quick swivels. So by that I mean standard swivels would go slow, quick, slow, quick, slow. But many of us, even in fast bal, have tried the quick, right, for swivels. This applies to leaders and follows, right? We're coming in on a different foot. If I was following, I'd be coming in on my left foot instead of my right foot most of the time. And then quick, slow, quick, slow compared to quick. So if the music is really slow, I actually find that quick, where you're consistently quick the whole time, sort of keeps the momentum going. You have something to like accelerate through and bounce off of in a way that flows really nicely. So to sort of put that in context, I'm going to go back to leader body for just a second. 1, 2, 3, 4. I might open up just a little bit on 5, 6, and then 7 would be my promenade step. And so you can either take a full slow on 7, 8 and then jump into the quick, or you can go straight through on 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, shoot, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, ah. And then once you're in promenade, walking has like lots of transitions. Anytime you're on the inside foot, you can sort of pivot back into a basic. So the idea here is going out into promenade and playing around with this quick pivot. So if I showed a sort of mapping of what that might look and feel like as a follow, step, triple step, open up and through. Is that right? Yes, because I'm facing this way. Hoo, ha, shoo, sha, sha, ha, hoo, boo, ba, boo, ba. No, I did it the wrong way. Ah, yes. Boom, ba, boom. I think I came out as a leader again. But once you get into promenade, it should be pretty clear. You're in on that left foot. Hoo, ha. I don't know if we've ever talked about swivels in Balboa in these video series yet. I'll probably do a deep dive on swivels, but just like pivots, swivels are about pivoting on every step. It's just that instead of continuing to go clockwise, or counter, vice versa, we're twisting, right, our body. We're pivoting in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, out, in, out, in, out, in. You can see my arms sort of twisting like that. Ideally, you actually have much less of that feeling when you're doing it with another person, because you're using their twist, their pivot, to motivate your own, less so than like twisting your shoulders. When you're by yourself, it sort of makes sense to do that because you just don't have much to twist against. But once you're together with a partner, really try and soften the shoulders and feel if you can use the connection to motivate that twist as opposed to just your own body. Cool. So once we have that, we've basically talked about how to pivot through motions with quick quicks and to reverse direction with quick quicks, which is mostly what we do in bow swing. So if we say went through a toss out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, we could just do that all with quick quicks, right? And so instead of the 7, 8 being like a long, slow stretch, it's going to be a slightly smaller stretch around 4, 5, but it's still, it actually feels pretty similar to a toss out. And because the music is so much slower, it actually feels pretty close to a toss out, like timing wise, momentum wise. So yeah, it's a little hard to show things like toss outs and turns without a partner. But the general idea is take your regular, whatever you like to do in bow swing, and instead of slows, change it all into quick quicks and see if that ends up making it feel a little more smooth and consistent in slow Balboa. And I found myself really enjoying that way of settling into the sort of flow of momentum when the music is this slow. So yeah, I'm gonna put some music on and try and demonstrate this in my own body, and I might try to sort of shadow dance what it might look like as a leader or a follow doing some of this stuff. But if this was interesting to you and you have like questions or like, oh, I I get what you're talking about, but I don't know how to put it in a long arm toss out or whatever. Um, Go ahead and send me a message, and I'll do what I can to explain and work out how it works for particular moves. But I could just sit here for 2 hours and go through footwork for, you know, all the different bow swing things that we do. Um, but yeah, so I don't like. I know this is a shorter explanation than I normally do, but I'm not sure that I have much beyond this. The basic idea is we're going to take. Oh, I guess we haven't talked about out and ins. So I tend not to do as many out and in type motions in slow bow in general. But what I do often do is use a quick out and in come around to set up some momentum for things, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, a quick. So that is an out and in, right? It's like quick. But I don't tend to do a lot of like quick, right? Like that kind of thing. And I just, it doesn't quite feel really good to me yet. And I haven't unfortunately followed a ton of slow Balboa. So I've not experienced other people's versions of like out and in type things in slow Balboa. But I absolutely do use a little bit of like out and in momentum to start my like pivot style motions. But I tend to like, once I've used that, let it flow for like an 8 or 2 before I go straight back into like another out and in type motion, which interestingly feels pretty consistent with how some of the original dancers would use their out and in. Like they tended to not do like 6 out and ins in a row, but it was more like a thing that they did 1 or 2 to generate some momentum or like sort of create a stop in the music and then go into the next thing. So yeah, you can absolutely take this idea into out and ins as well, but I will say I don't know that I feel as strongly about it in out and ins as I do in like swivels or in like turning motions. Again, anything that sort of feels like it can resolve into a pivot or into something like swivels, I think feels really good to do with this sort of single time, quick timing. So the one other thing that's going to happen here is because you're truncating things, it's not going to fit into 8 counts as nicely. And so you may find times where it's like, wait, I think I'm normally on my left foot, but now I'm on my right foot. And I would explore that as an opportunity rather than, oh no, I'm doing something wrong, right? Like especially if you're working with someone, you can be like, oh, so what foot does this put us on? And is there something fun we can do to get back onto like standard feet? If you're social dancing, I'd encourage you to use this as an opportunity to, if you're a leader, maybe explore some ways to stay on one foot for a little bit longer, and then sort of set to your follows footwork. As a follow, if you're doing this kind of thing and finding the footwork is like shifting off what you're used to, this is a great way to start thinking about like when you're doing a triple step to or something like a triple step, a walk, to switch feet, or when you're doing a ball change or a quad step to switch to stay on the same foot. Both of those, when combined, right, means you can sort of switch feet whenever you want, right? It really only takes like a count and a half. And so if you're very confident, it's like, I would like to be on the other foot right now, you just are. So changing a triple step into a quad by adding like an extra ball change at the end. or taking a regular walk and turning it into, taking a, I talked about quads, which is the same as a quick. And so, yeah, so taking something where you would normally step and turning it into a walk or turning it into a triple. These are really useful in both slow bal and regular bal. And I, in general, am not ultra committed to being on the same foot as my partner all the time. So I actually think it's a fun space to be like, hey, we're gonna do this thing. It's not the same as how we would normally do it, and so that's gonna put us on a different foot than we're used to, and that can be okay, right? Again, I don't like to count a ton because forcing things into the 8 count, I don't think works particularly well in Balboa. So many of the things we do are ad libs, which are really like sort of 2 count sequences. And so getting used to the music and settling into the music such that like when the phrase starts, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna do a full basic here. But then as the phrase goes along, I'm gonna sometimes do like just a quick for a while. And so getting used to dancing in 2s such that you can always like land on the phrase, but don't feel restricted to doing like 8 count, 4 count, 8 count, 8 count, 4 count, or something like that. So yeah, this is a great tool for that, because anytime you're doing those quicks, you're easily gonna lose a foot that you would normally be holding for slow. So yeah, hopefully that will make a little more sense once you see it in the dancing. And I really hope you try some of this. I really love Slow Balboa. I love experimenting with it. And that's it. Thank you so much.